Y'all are not ready for this. What if I told you that Beyoncé, yes, Queen Bee herself, vanished from the spotlight the second 50 Cent dropped hints about Diddy's secret footage? Are we talking coincidence? Or is there a storm brewing behind the velvet curtains of Hollywood that nobody wants you to see? I'm talking about a secret so explosive, so messy, that it could rewrite the history of music's biggest power couples. 50 Cent isn't just dropping bars this time. He's dropping truths, receipts, and footage that could make the entire industry sweat. And Diddy? Well, let's just say the man who built an empire on champagne, yachts, and velvet ropes might finally have a problem he can't buy his way out of. But here's the twist. Beyoncé, who has always been untouchable, mysteriously disappears right after the documentary hype hits. Is she hiding? Protecting her legacy? Or is she quietly calculating her next move while the whole world speculates? In the next few minutes, I'm going to take you inside a labyrinth of secrets, scandals, and power plays, where nothing is what it seems, and everyone has something to lose. Buckle up, because this story is about to get wild. You will not believe what just went down in the music world. I mean, we all knew 50 Cent had a knack for drama. But this takes it to a whole new level. Right after the Diddy documentary dropped, Beyoncé, the woman who literally built an empire on flawless image control and perfection, vanished. Poof. Gone. No social media posts, no cryptic lyrics, no red carpet appearances, nothing. And the timing. Oh, the timing couldn't be any more suspicious. Is it really a coincidence that the second 50 hinted he had more footage that could expose Diddy in ways we've never seen? Beyoncé disappears into thin air? Something tells me this isn't just a simple retreat from the public eye. Something big is coming. Let's set the scene. You have 50 Cent, the man who rose from the ashes of beef and bankruptcy to become a media juggernaut, sitting on a treasure trove of secret recordings. We're talking hours, like 140 hours, of behind-the-scenes footage that Diddy thought would never leave his inner circle. And guess what? 50 bought it. Not just bought it, snatched it. And now he's hinting at a follow-up, a part 2 that could make the first documentary look like child's play. And the people who thought they were untouchable, Jay-Z and Beyoncé? Yeah, that's about to get complicated. People need to understand the stakes here. We're not talking about casual gossip or Instagram drama. We're talking about a man who literally built an empire by controlling the narrative, by surrounding himself with power and influence, suddenly exposed to a world that 50 Cent controls with a grin and a camera. This is strategic chaos. And Beyoncé, well, she's been known to control every aspect of her image, her music, her brand. But when the stakes get personal, when the narrative threatens to taint everything she's built, even she knows when to disappear. That's why the silence is deafening. And make no mistake, it's calculated. This isn't an emotional retreat. This is protection. This is survival. Let's rewind a little. Remember all those rumors about Diddy's wild parties? The behind-the-scenes antics that the tabloids never fully captured? The flashy yachts, the champagne showers, the entourage of people who thought loyalty was just another word for being disposable. Those stories were just the surface. And now, imagine 50 Cent holding a camera that has captured it all. Not the curated, Instagram-friendly version, but raw, unfiltered chaos. And he's sitting there, smiling, knowing that one play of the footage could change public perception in ways these moguls haven't experienced in decades. That's why the timing of Beyoncé's disappearance matters. She's not hiding because she's scared. She's hiding because the chessboard just changed, and everyone is now a potential pawn. And here's where it gets even more tangled. Jay-Z has always been the silent strategist, the one in the boardrooms. The one quietly maneuvering behind closed doors, ensuring that he maintains influence without ever appearing vulnerable. But even the most meticulous plans have weak points, and when your personal empire is intertwined with a man who just got caught on tape in ways he didn't anticipate, suddenly your fortress of control is shaking. 50 Cent knows this. He's played the long game, turning old beef into a weapon. And the irony? This isn't just revenge, it's poetic justice. Jay-Z and Diddy, two men who tried to manipulate narratives, now potentially facing a narrative they can't control. Sources close to the scene, who of course wish to remain anonymous because, well, that's how dangerous this has become, claim that the footage goes beyond casual shenanigans. Allegedly, it captures private strategy sessions, i.e. discussions about influence and power, and moments where Diddy's decisions could be interpreted as ethically and legally questionable. And while we don't know every detail, the hints alone are enough to make industry insiders break into cold sweats. And who do they immediately think about when speculation starts swirling? Beyoncé. Because everything she's built, every brand deal, every album, every flawless public appearance is now potentially in jeopardy if this narrative leaks uncontrolled. And the woman who's used to perfection knows exactly what that could mean. Now, let's talk public reaction, or rather, the fear of it. Because while Beyoncé hasn't said a word, social media has been a frenzy. Fans, analysts, influencers, and, let's be honest, trolls have all started piecing together timelines, connections, and, of course, conspiracy theories. Some are speculating that Beyoncé is planning a grand comeback that will overshadow whatever 50 Cent releases. Others are suggesting she might quietly negotiate her exit from public life to preserve her empire. The speculation alone creates pressure on the industry, pressure on her team, and pressure on Jay-Z, who has never had to manage this level of unpredictable exposure before. And this is where the drama escalates. Because 50 Cent is not just teasing footage, he's building a story. He's framing the narrative in a way that maximizes suspense, that makes audiences question everything they thought they knew about the people involved. And people are paying attention. Social media metrics are spiking. Every post, every hint, every cryptic statement from 50 Cent is being dissected by millions. And the more attention it gets, the more Beyoncé's absence becomes suspicious. And the more suspicious her absence, the more the public imagines scenarios that may or may not even exist. But that's the beauty of this type of drama. The speculation fuels itself, creating a perfect storm. So what exactly could be in that footage? Imagine private conversations, strategic moves, moments of indulgence, and perhaps even evidence of behind-the-scenes decisions that could be seen as controversial. And 50 Cent knows the power of suggestion. He doesn't need to show everything. A hint here, a clip there, and suddenly the narrative is alive. Industry insiders are whispering about what could happen if the footage goes public. Could contracts be scrutinized? Could partnerships dissolve? Could reputations be permanently altered? All we know is that the ripple effects are already being felt. And while the world speculates, the people in the center of it are maneuvering. Beyoncé, who has built a brand of control and perfection, is calculating every move. Jay-Z, whose quiet power has always been his armor, now faces a situation where transparency, or the lack thereof, can define public perception. And Diddy, who thought he had the world wrapped around his finger, might finally have a loose thread he can't tie back. 50 Cent is playing the long game, turning secrecy into leverage, chaos into currency, and the audience into willing participants in a story that feels too dramatic to be real, but too compelling to ignore. And this is only the beginning. Because while the documentary drops, the social media storm builds, and Beyoncé remains absent, the industry waits. Everyone waits. Lawyers, PR teams, insiders, influencers, and fans alike are all holding their breath, wondering, what will 50 Cent release next? What will it show? Who will it implicate? And more importantly, what does Beyoncé know that the rest of the world doesn't yet see? Because when someone like her vanishes, it's never just coincidence. It's strategy. It's survival. And it's about to change everything. The whispers, the hints, the speculation, they're all pieces of a puzzle that the public is desperately trying to solve. And 50 Cent, ever the master of controversy, knows exactly how to let those pieces linger, letting the imagination fill in the gaps. He's turning silence into suspense, absence into intrigue, and timing into a weapon. And now, with Beyoncé missing from the scene and Diddy's footage threatening to explode, the stage is set for what could be the most shocking reveal in recent music history. And just when you think it couldn't get any more twisted, insiders claim there's more, much more. Footage, documents, and whispers that suggest the story is far from over. This isn't just a single scandal or a simple revenge plot. This is a multi-layered power struggle, a high-stakes chess match between some of the most influential people in the entertainment world. And the audience? We're watching, breathless, as each move is calculated, each reaction measured, and each secret kept or revealed at exactly the right moment. And as the clock ticks and anticipation builds, one thing is clear. Beyoncé's disappearance isn't the end of the story. It's the opening move. The tension is mounting. The players are in position. And 50 Cent, well, he's already smiling, knowing that the next act is about to blow everything wide open. You think you know what's coming. You don't. Not yet. And when it hits, it's going to shake the foundations of everything you thought was untouchable in the music world. Just when you thought the drama couldn't get any messier, in this video hits, and suddenly everything starts to unravel. Sources who claim to be close to the situation, and trust me, these aren't just random Instagram commenters, say that what 50 Cent has in his hands isn't merely a documentary, it's a blueprint of chaos. Allegedly, the footage captures Diddy and his inner circle making decisions that could shock anyone who's ever thought Hollywood was all glitz and glamour. And if you think this is exaggeration, think again. I've been hearing rumors of private jets, secret yachts, and champagne-fueled brainstorming sessions that could make your head spin. They're talking millions spent on parties, gifts, and perks to keep people in line. Money, influence, and intimidation. The classic Diddy recipe for controlling everything in his orbit. And it doesn't stop there. Anonymous sources suggest that some of the footage shows not just strategic discussions, but moments where Diddy allegedly tried to manipulate legal situations, using people around him as pawns. Think witness whispers, sudden retractions, and backroom deals, allegedly, all recorded without anyone realizing it. And 50 Cent? He's sitting on all of it with that signature smirk, knowing that just one clip could ignite a media frenzy. Insiders say this isn't about revenge. It's about exposing a system where power was used to bend rules, where loyalty was bought, and where the public never saw what really happened behind the scenes. Meanwhile, social media is ablaze. Fans are piecing together timelines of Beyoncé's disappearance and linking it to every hint 50 Cent has dropped. Some speculate she's negotiating, some claim she's hiding, and others say she's quietly preparing her own counter-strategy. Either way, people are obsessed. Hashtags are trending, memes are flying, and commentary channels? They're working overtime, dissecting every single detail as if the fate of the music industry depends on it. The internet is basically a digital magnifying glass, and Beyoncé's absence is the biggest mystery yet. Leaked reports, or should I say, allegedly leaked, claim that some of the footage shows Diddy coordinating lavish spending to maintain influence over people in his circle. Designer gifts, luxury vehicles, exclusive event access, you name it. The rumor mill suggests that employees, friends, and even family members were strategically given perks to ensure loyalty. And now, with 50 Cent in possession of the raw recordings, the secrets behind these transactions could be revealed, painting a picture of control, manipulation, and wealth wielded as a weapon. Sources also hint at moments in the footage that allegedly involve negotiations, back-channel communications, and clandestine meetings designed to sway public opinion or manipulate legal outcomes. Whether it's whispers about who gets dropped from a record deal or subtle threats about who should or shouldn't be spoken to, the allegations are dramatic, and the footage is said to be so detailed that every gesture, every pause, and every word could be interpreted as evidence of a larger strategy. Again, this is all allegedly, but the suspense is palpable. The public is eating this up. Social media threads are lit with speculation about Diddy's decision-making, his empire, and how this could reflect on Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Fans are questioning whether the Carters, who have always been seen as untouchable, might finally be vulnerable. People are asking, could this footage implicate more than just Diddy? Could it somehow ripple across Jay-Z's business ventures, his collaborations, and his carefully curated public image? And most importantly, why would Beyoncé vanish at exactly this moment if there was nothing to worry about? The internet isn't forgiving anyone, and the audience is merciless. And insiders are suggesting that the stakes might even go beyond reputation. The financial implications could be massive. Contracts could be scrutinized, brand deals could be reconsidered, and partnerships might suddenly find themselves in jeopardy. We're talking billions in combined assets that could be affected by perception alone. Allegedly, some of the footage even hints at internal tensions that could have led to mismanagement or questionable decisions financially. The rumor mill has it that the industry is quietly bracing for fallout, and executives are allegedly holding emergency meetings to prepare for a wave of exposure they didn't see coming. Meanwhile, Beyoncé's absence fuels the fire. People are asking, is she planning a strategic silence to protect her empire? Or is she quietly maneuvering to avoid collateral damage while 50 Cent reveals more? Whatever the reason, the effect is undeniable. Social media can't stop speculating. The mystery is what makes it explosive. And 50 Cent, he's a master of suspense, letting just enough information leak to keep everyone on edge without giving away the full story. It's the perfect storm of curiosity, scandal, and anticipation. And let's talk about Jay-Z for a second. The man who has carefully cultivated an image of power, influence, and untouchable control suddenly faces a situation where even his closest allies could be exposed in ways he didn't anticipate. Remember, Jay-Z has always operated quietly, limiting exposure and maintaining distance from controversial behavior. But when someone like 50 Cent controls footage that could contradict the narrative of safety, loyalty, and strategy, the rules change. The whispers in the industry suggest that the tension is palpable, awed with lawyers, agents, and PR teams scrambling to figure out how to mitigate potential damage before it reaches the public eye. And the fallout could go even further. Allegedly, some insiders say that the footage shows subtle exchanges, moments where influence was wielded over decisions and outcomes that most fans would never see. From deals that benefited specific individuals to private interventions that might now look suspicious in hindsight, the implications are enormous. And because 50 Cent has historically proven he knows exactly how to turn narrative into currency, it's safe to assume he will deploy this footage in a way that maximizes suspense and controversy. Public reaction has been equally intense. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, every platform is alive with theories, speculation, and memes. Fans dissect every hint of Beyoncé's absence. "Where's Beyoncé?" is trending globally. Commentators are asking whether she's planning to release her own statement, or if she's staying silent strategically. The suspense is only growing as more people weigh in, and each theory fuels the next. And make no mistake, in today's media environment, silence is louder than words. Beyoncé's absence speaks volumes, whether intentional or not. And let's not forget the human element. Industry insiders, former employees, and even casual observers are allegedly providing context behind the scenes. Whispered accounts suggest that Diddy has always been extremely calculated, layering influence, relationships, and media exposure in a way that few could anticipate. But the footage 50 Cent now holds might just flip the script entirely, showing cracks in the carefully curated empire that fans have only admired from afar. Suddenly, the illusion of control is being questioned, and the people at the center of it, the Carters and Diddy, are facing a new kind of vulnerability. And while speculation continues to mount, insiders hint at a potentially explosive revelation. The footage may include not just public relations maneuvers, but private conversations that reveal how decisions were made, who was involved, and how influence was wielded. Allegedly, there are moments where loyalty, deception, and power collide, creating a tapestry of intrigue that 50 Cent could unravel at any moment. And the suspense is killer, because the more hints that leak, the more attention, clicks, and headlines build, setting the stage for a dramatic crescendo that could redefine what fans think about these industry giants. And this is where the drama intensifies. Beyoncé's strategic absence, Diddy's alleged manipulations, and Jay-Z's quiet calculations are all colliding in real time, creating a narrative that nobody can ignore. Social media threads explode with speculation. Industry insiders reportedly scramble behind closed doors. And 50 Cent? He's smiling, knowing that the anticipation alone is generating more attention than any press release, any statement, any carefully staged event ever could. The timing, the drama, the mystery. It's all perfectly orchestrated for maximum impact. So, what happens next? How much of this footage will actually be released? What secrets lie in those 140 hours that 50 Cent supposedly owns? And how long can Beyoncé maintain her silence before the pressure becomes too much to bear? The answers remain hidden, for now. But one thing is clear. The scandal isn't just about one person, one relationship, or one empire. It's about power, perception, and the fragile balance between influence and exposure. And when the next wave of information drops, the shockwaves could be felt across the entire entertainment world. And just when you think it's over, insiders whisper that the footage isn't just about Diddy. It allegedly implicates other high-profile figures in ways that could be even more explosive than anyone anticipated. People who thought they were untouchable are suddenly vulnerable. Deals could unravel. Reputations could be questioned. And the carefully curated image of some of the most influential celebrities might face unprecedented scrutiny. It's a situation that could redefine how power and influence are perceived in Hollywood, all triggered by a man who knows exactly how to play the media game, 50 Cent. Beyoncé's silence, Jay-Z's calculated moves, Diddy's empire, and 50 Cent's master plan are now converging, creating a perfect storm of tension, speculation, and scandal. The whispers have turned into roars. Industry insiders, who allegedly never spoke before, are now openly sharing what they know, and the narrative is spinning faster than anyone could have imagined. Sources claim that 50 Cent's upcoming release won't just shake reputations, it could shift the very landscape of hip-hop power dynamics. And the world is watching, waiting, and, let's be honest, secretly hoping for chaos. Leaked documents, allegedly obtained by 50 Cent, reveal financial arrangements, brand deals, and business ventures that paint a picture of influence stretching far beyond music. People are saying that Diddy's empire wasn't just about record labels or clubs. It was a network of strategic power plays, where money, favors, and loyalty were leveraged like chess pieces. And now, with footage in the hands of 50 Cent, every move could be scrutinized, every deal questioned. Insiders are reportedly calling it the blueprint of manipulation, and the level of detail in the recordings is said to be staggering. Every meeting, every private conversation, every subtle glance could become headline news. Meanwhile, public reaction is turning into a feeding frenzy. Fans are dissecting Beyoncé's absence from events, Jay-Z's unusual public appearances, and Diddy's latest moves. Twitter is flooded with speculation. Is Beyoncé planning a strategic comeback? Is Jay-Z scrambling behind the scenes to contain the damage? Is Diddy finally about to face the consequences he cleverly avoided for decades? Theories are spreading like wildfire. Some suggest a coordinated PR strategy, while others hint at legal maneuvers already underway to prevent the footage from going public. But one thing is clear. Curiosity is at an all-time high, and no one wants to miss a single detail. Allegedly, lawyers are now involved in a high-stakes battle behind closed doors. The chatter in industry circles suggests that cease and desist letters have been drafted, contracts are being examined with a fine-tooth comb, and executives are scrambling to understand the implications of what 50 Cent possesses. Hypothetical lawsuits could span multiple states, and some sources even hint that the financial stakes could reach into the hundreds of millions. Imagine billions in combined celebrity assets potentially destabilized, all because of footage that, until recently, no one outside the inner circle even knew existed. And Beyoncé? Her absence is speaking louder than any statement ever could. Analysts suggest that her silence is strategic, a masterclass in media control. She knows that jumping into the conversation too early could backfire. Staying quiet keeps everyone guessing and allows her to maintain her image while the media frenzy peaks. Every post she shares, every public appearance she makes or doesn't make, is analyzed for hidden messages. Fans and commentators alike are scrutinizing her social media for clues, hashtags, and subtle signs that could reveal her next move. And as this video unfolds, it's clear that her strategy might just be as potent as 50 Cent's revelations. Meanwhile, insiders report that some of the footage allegedly shows interactions that could have legal implications. Obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and potentially questionable contractual behavior could all come under scrutiny. If any of this footage is authenticated and enters the public domain, it could trigger investigations, not just in music, but in associated business ventures. And while Diddy and Jay-Z have long been viewed as untouchable, the combination of raw evidence and public scrutiny could create unprecedented vulnerability. Imagine decades of perceived control suddenly facing the possibility of public accountability. Financially, sources claim that the ripple effects could be enormous, contracts could be renegotiated, brand partnerships reevaluated, and investors might pause or reconsider affiliations. If 50 Cent releases the footage strategically, the impact could extend beyond entertainment into the broader business ecosystem where these celebrities operate. Partnerships, endorsements, and joint ventures could all be affected, and insiders say the mere threat of exposure is already sending shockwaves through boardrooms. The speculation alone is driving media coverage, and coverage drives influence, and influence drives deals. And let's talk about Jay-Z. For years, he has maintained an image of control, intelligence, and strategic thinking. But insiders suggest that 50 Cent's footage could undermine that carefully curated persona. Conversations that were private, deals that were secret, and relationships that were managed quietly could all be exposed in a way that reshapes public perception. Jay-Z has always been about controlling narrative, but what happens when someone else controls the narrative for you? That's the dangerous position he allegedly finds himself in now, and it's a lesson in the fragility of even the most untouchable reputations. Diddy, on the other hand, is no stranger to controversy, but sources hint that this time he may have miscalculated. Allegedly, the footage exposes a combination of arrogance and overconfidence, moments where he assumed loyalty was guaranteed and discretion was assured. But the tapes, now reportedly in 50 Cent's possession, suggest otherwise. People who thought they were protected or invisible may now find themselves in a spotlight they didn't anticipate, and as public fascination grows, every detail, no matter how small, could become headline news. Public backlash is another wild card. Already, fans are debating who is responsible, who is innocent, and who is being unfairly targeted. Some argue that 50 Cent is playing a dangerous game, while others celebrate his role as a truth-teller. And then there's the media. Talk shows, commentary channels, and online news outlets are ready to dissect every frame of footage, every tweet, every social media interaction. Ratings, clicks, and engagement are soaring, proving that controversy is the ultimate currency in today's digital age. And the anticipation of seeing these recordings could become a media spectacle unlike anything before. And then there's the human drama, the relationships behind the headlines. Allegedly, part of the footage captures moments where trust was betrayed, where loyalty was tested, and where long-standing alliances were strained or broken. These are the kind of revelations that could reshape narratives not just in entertainment, but in the broader cultural conversation. Fans are drawn to scandal because it humanizes celebrities, exposes vulnerability, and creates the ultimate "what happens next" scenario. And 50 Cent knows exactly how to orchestrate that suspense. Finally, the most explosive claims involve Beyoncé herself. Sources suggest that her strategic withdrawal may be linked to protecting not just her brand, but her legacy. Allegedly, she has been quietly preparing for a potential counter-narrative, knowing that the Carters' public image could be threatened by 50 Cent's revelations. And while the world speculates about whether she will step back into the spotlight, insiders hint at a meticulous plan to maintain her influence, protect her empire, and maybe even turn the scandal to her advantage. In other words, silence might be her ultimate weapon. As this video closes, the stakes have never been higher. The Carters, Diddy, and 50 Cent are locked in a high-stakes game of strategy, reputation, and influence. Allegedly leaked footage, legal maneuvers, and public fascination are converging in a way that could alter the landscape of entertainment forever. Fans are glued to their screens, analysts are scribbling furiously, and social media is exploding with theories. Every move, every statement, or lack thereof, is under scrutiny. And the big question remains: who will emerge unscathed? Who will face public reckoning? And who will be reshaped by the storm that 50 Cent has unleashed? We may not know the answers yet, but one thing is certain. This is a scandal that won't quietly fade away. Beyoncé's absence, Jay-Z's maneuvering, Diddy's empire, and 50 Cent's explosive footage are now intertwined in a story that could dominate headlines, redefine reputations, and reshape the entertainment world as we know it. And the world is watching, waiting, and wondering, what happens next? So now the question is, what will happen next? Will Beyoncé finally break her silence and reclaim control over her empire? Or is she silently plotting the ultimate move behind the scenes? Will Jay-Z scramble to contain the fallout? Or is this the beginning of a public reckoning he can't escape? And Diddy. Oh, Diddy. Will the empire he built on influence, power, and secrecy crumble under the weight of 50 Cent's explosive footage? One thing is clear. Nothing is off limits anymore. Every private conversation, every hidden deal, every subtle betrayal could soon be exposed for the world to see. The power dynamics in hip-hop, in celebrity culture, and even in business relationships may never be the same again. Fans are debating, analysts are panicking, and social media is on fire with speculation. Now it's your turn. What do you think will happen? Will Beyoncé walk away to protect her legacy? Will Jay-Z survive the storm? Or is this the beginning of the end for one of the most untouchable names in music? And what about Diddy? Will the empire finally face accountability? Comment below with your thoughts. Smash that like button if you want the next explosive update, and make sure you're subscribed. Trust me, you do not want to miss a single moment of this chaos, because this story is far from over.